Hello everybody and welcome back to Gaming on Caffeine. My name is Isaac and we are back for episode 32 of FTB Infinity Evolved Skyblock. Last episode, we upgraded our tier 2 blood altar to a tier 3 altar, and at the end of last episode, we started looking towards upgrading our tier 3 altar to a tier 4 altar, and to do that, we need 4 large bloodstone bricks to go on top of the pillars that are going to be on the outer edge of the tier 4 altar. Now, to craft those large bloodstone bricks, we need weak blood shards, and to get those, we have to kill mobs using the bound blade, and so at the end of last episode, we set up the ritual of the binding over here, and so all that we're missing now in order to actually get the tier 4 altar up and running is the bound blade, which requires the Sword of the Zephyr, and then a weak activation crystal to actually activate this binding ritual over here and transform the Sword of the Zephyr into the bound blade. So at the end of last episode, we did plant our Greatwood sapling down. It took forever to grow. I have no idea why it took so long, but it did finally grow, and so we should now have all of the items required to craft the Sword of the Zephyr downstairs with the infusion crafting altar. If we quickly look at the recipe over here in the Thaumonomicon, we need 1 Greatwood log, 2 air shards, 1 diamond, 1 thaumium sword, and then the 3 aspects down here. I did go ahead and throw all of the aspects into the jars whilst I was waiting for the Greatwood tree to grow, and so if we come over here, hopefully we have some sticks. We do. We can go ahead and craft those up with our thaumium ingots. That's going to get us the thaumium blade. Diamonds that we have in abundance, and so now if we come downstairs, we should be able to craft this up fairly easily. So there are only 4 items. To make sure this is at least somewhat symmetrical, we will go ahead and put these down just in the middle sections of all of these pedestals. So we'll put them down like there and there, and then we'll put down the thaumium sword in the middle, and we'll stick down our Greatwood log on the outside like so. If we look at the Thaumonomicon, the risk of anything going wrong is negligible. Just in case, I have gone ahead and put a little bit extra of every single aspect that we need in all of these jars, and so let's give it a try. And there we go! Real easy stuff. We now have the Sword of the Zephyr. Nice. Now, you do have to be careful not to right-click on that Sword of the Zephyr, because with the binding ritual, you have to throw in an item that has full durability, and the Sword of the Zephyr actually has a right-click effect where it will use up some of the durability if you right-click it. So, if you're going to try and do this, don't right-click it, otherwise you'll have to make another one, which is just a massive pain in the backside. But now that we have the Sword of the Zephyr, the only item that we are missing is the weak activation crystal, this guy over here, and this thing is made by placing a lava crystal into a tier 3 blood altar with 10,000 life points. And to craft up the lava crystal, we need 3 lava buckets, 1 empty core, 2 obsidian, 1 mana diamond, and then 2 warded glass. Now, for the warded glass, it's from Thaumcraft, so you have to do the research for it before you can actually unlock the recipe. And for those who are wanting to play along at home and those who are trying to do the same thing, I'll give you a heads up. It is this research over here. It's warded arcana under the artifice tab. It took me way too long to figure out where this crafting recipe was, but if you do the research for warded arcana, it is all the way over at the end here. There is warded glass. That is how you unlock it. I thought we were going to have to do the 1 focus of warding, this one over here, so I did that and got all the stuff ready for that, but we don't actually have to make the 1 focus of warding. You just need to unlock the research for warded arcana. So now that we have that, we can actually look at the recipe for the warded glass. Now, to make this, we need 4 mana glass, 2 Greatwood planks, 1 Thaumcraft zombie brain, 1 magicalis, and then 1 crystallos. I think that's how it's pronounced. Both of these here are items that are made from blood magic, and they're made in the alchemical chemistry set. Now, a little while ago, we used our alchemical chemistry set in order to make the alchemy catalyst, which is underneath this mana pool over here. So we are going to have to craft up another one of those real quick. Thankfully, it is quite simply just a brewing stand in the blood altar, so getting another one of those should be fairly easy. We should have enough life points in the blood altar already for this to work, so let's just go ahead and throw that into there. Whilst we're waiting for that, we can throw in one of our Greatwood logs into the mana pool. That's going to get us the 2 Greatwood planks that we need. We should also already have a Thaumcraft zombie brain over here. We do. We've got 225, just in case we needed a couple more. There is our alchemical chemistry set. I'm going to put this down near our applied energistic system for now, just so we can get items in here fairly quickly. We can just pull them out of here and stick them into the alchemical chemistry set. Alright, so now we've got this down, we have to put our blood orb in the bottom right. Let's look up the weak activation crystal again. For that, we need the lava crystal. For the warded glass, we need the magicalis and the crystallos. And for that, we need redstone, gunpowder, glowstone, and a simple catalyst, which is made with sugar, 2 redstone, 1 gunpowder, and 1 glowstone. Do we currently have any sugar in the system? We do. Cool stuff. I also think, let me type in lava crystal real quick so we don't have to go through all of the recipe clicking every single time. I think the crystallos also requires a simple catalyst. It does. And so we're going to go ahead and make 2 of those right off the bat here. So let's just grab a bunch of redstone, a bunch of gunpowder, a bunch of glowstone. We can throw all those together. We can put sugar at the top. Glowstone, I think, goes bottom left, gunpowder bottom right, and then redstone in the middle like that. And you'll know it's working if you see these little particle effects above the alchemical chemistry set. That means that it is working. working. And if we look at our division sigil here, and we look at the number of life points currently within our internal life pool, you can see the number is going down because those life points are being used to craft up these simple catalysts. We don't need that many of them, so I'm going to take all those out. What did we need for the Magicalis real quick? To make that, we needed redstone, it's all the same stuff again. Okay, so we're going to put redstone at the top, we're going to put glowstone at the bottom there, gunpowder on the right, the simple catalyst on the left. That should make us the Magicalis, and then finally, we need to make ourselves the Crystallos, which is 2 ice, 2 snow, and then 1 simple catalyst. And so to make that, we are going to have to go ahead and spend a little bit of time grinding over here on the snowball seeds. And then once we've got 16 snowballs, we can craft all those up into 4 blocks of snow, and we should be able to throw 2 of those blocks of snow into the compressor to get ourselves 2 blocks of ice, exactly the same way we did it when we needed to get the water shards. So if we throw 2 of those in there, that should very quickly get us 2 blocks worth of ice, which should pretty much go directly into there. They did. It got us 4 instead of 2, but that's fine. And so now, if we come on back up here, we can put the ice in there and there. We can put the snow in, I think, there and there, and then the simple catalyst on the right there. That's going to do its thing. And once it's done, we have the Crystallos, and now we can take that, and we should be able to make ourselves some watered glass. So, we are going to need some mana glass. Do we have any glass in the system? We do not, which is a bit of a shame. Do we have any sand lying around? We've got 2. Okay, so let's instead come and pull some of the sand out of here. We shouldn't need more than 9, so let's just craft that up. Let's throw that quickly into the redstone furnace, and then once we've got the glass, we can just come and throw it into our mana pool. Hopefully we have enough mana in here already, and we totally do. And then once we've got 4 of that, we can bring it all over to the arcane crafting table, and we should be able to just shift click that in, throw in the wand, and get ourselves 4 watered glass. Nice. So now that we've got that done, all we need now are 3 lava buckets, which we should be able to do fairly easily because we got all of those buckets back from the Great Wood Sapling recipe last episode. So we'll take 3 of those. We also need to make this empty core, which is made with 4 more mana glass, 2 mana steel, 1 more simple catalyst, so it's actually a good thing that we made that extra one, as well as 2 golden ingots as well. So let's go ahead and put in as much of that as we can already. And we're just missing the mana steel, so we'll grab some iron, and we're also missing the mana glass. All of the glass should have made its way around into the AE system, so let's go ahead and grab all of that as well. Hopefully we've got enough mana, but if we don't, we always have the pool downstairs, which should have enough in it because I've been filling that one up with mana as well. Let's throw both of you in. There we go, cool stuff. So now we can throw all of this together in the AE system to get ourselves the empty core. Pretty cool. So we'll throw that in there, and we'll craft everything up together to get ourselves the lava crystal. And now all we have to do is put the lava crystal into our blood altar. It does require 10,000 life points, and so I should make sure that this thing is full before we start. Let's go ahead and see if this gets it anywhere close to being full. What we at? We're at 2,000, so no is the answer to that. Let's quickly grab one of our golden apples here to get this thing as full as we possibly can. And there we go. Now that it's full, we can put in the lava crystal, wait for that to absorb all of those 10,000 life points. And there we go, we get ourselves a weak activation crystal. Nice. So, all that we need to do now is use this weak activation crystal on the binding ritual over here. Now, I'm not 100% sure on how many life points we have to have in our blood network in order to activate this. We currently have 7,500. That might be enough. I guess we're about to find out. A rush of energy flows through you. Let's throw it on the sword. Where's the sword? It's there. We throw that in there. That should become... There we go. It should become a bound blade. Now, I have done this before where it has not worked. But lightning should strike all of these pedestals on the top. And there we go, look at that, we got a bound blade. Nice. So we'll take this, and now all we have to do, by the way, it starts off like looking like this circle. All you gotta do is shift right click for it to actually become a sword. This will drain life points out of your blood network when you use it in this form. So when I attack something with it like this, it will actually drain life points from our network. You'll see right now we got 2, 4, and 3, 9. If I was to attack something with this, that would go down. So make sure you have some life points in your blood network when you try this. Otherwise, it will start to take hearts off you. I don't think, actually, I can show you here on a cow real quick. So what do we have? 2, 3, 8, 9. Oh, is that going down just passively? It is going down just passively, so I'm going to turn this off real quick because it's using all of our life essence passively. So now what we need to do is we need to kill some mobs. We did also get a trophy here. I've started putting my trophies over here by my armor stands, but we're kind of running out of space a little bit for all the stuff here. But I do kind of like that blood magic trophy there. That's pretty cool. But what we need to do now is we need to kill some mobs with this bound blade to get some weak blood shards. We really only need the one, because if we look at the recipe for the bloodstone blocks over here, to get these, we just need 1 blood shard. And to get more weak blood shards, we just need a 1 weak blood shard and an imbued slate. So we can make more of them once we have the one, but to get that one, we have to first kill a mob with the bound blade. Now, for some reason, my spawner here is still not working. No mobs are spawning, and I've talked to other people on the server, and mobs are not spawning passively for anyone. And so what I think we're going to have to do is create some cursed earth from extra utilities, and then use that cursed earth to force mobs to spawn up there and then drop down, and we can kill them once that happens. Also, if you're wondering why the night's doing what it's doing right now, the server's not glitching out. Somebody else on the server, the Shaggy Rabbit, is doing some stuff which is causing the day-night cycle to go crazy. But what we need to do now is we need to get ourselves some cursed earth, and to do that, we have to perform a ritual to activate the Division Sigil. So we got this a little while back when we killed the Wither. Now, if we hover over this, it says you must perform the activation ritual. Sneak right-click on an enchanting table for more details. So let's come in here and let's make ourselves an enchanting table real quick. We should be able to do that fairly easily. We do need a book, which again, hopefully, won't be too hard. It's not. Let's just do that. Boom. And now we've got the enchantment table. If we shift right-click on this enchantment table, it says Altar does not have a redstone circle. Altar can't see the moon. Area lacks sufficient natural earth. Altar must not be lit by outside sources, and too early sacrifice must be made at midnight. And so what we have to do for this is we have to take our enchantment table and put it onto a platform of dirt or grass out of the way a little bit where it's not lit by any of the torches, and we have to wait until midnight, at which point we can activate the ritual, perform a sacrifice, and get ourselves some cursed earth. So what I'm going to do real quick, guys, I'm going to go away. I'm going to grab as much dirt as I can. I'll probably have to craft up some more. I'm going to set up a little bit of a dirt platform, probably just over here behind these barrels, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so a little while later, I've set up a dirt platform over here. I've stuck down my enchantment table in the center, put redstone all around it. I have put down 2 grass seeds over here. I don't think that it has to be grass in order for it to become cursed earth when the ritual is activated, but just to be on the safe side, I put some of that down. So at the very least, we should get 2 pieces worth of cursed earth. And so now if we shift right click with the Division Sigil again, it says Altar must not be lit by outside sources, and it is too early. So I think the reason why it's saying Altar must not be lit by outside sources is because it's currently daytime and it is being lit by the sun. I don't think any of my torches over here are close enough to be classified as outside sources. Also, let me turn hover mode off there. And so now what we need to do is we need to get a Silk Touch tool so that once all of the dirt becomes cursed earth, we can actually pick it up and put it back down inside of our mob spawner to force mobs to spawn and drop down for the grinders to kill them, and to make sure that our mob spawner continues to work. So to do that, we are going to add a silky crystal, which is an item from Tinker's Construct, to our mattock. That's going to give it the Silk Touch effect and allow us to go ahead and pick up all the cursed earth. So for that, we need a block of emeralds as well as 4 silky cloth. The silky cloth is just a golden ingot surrounded by string, so we should be able to make 4 of that fairly easily, and then that will allow us to make the silky crystal. We have yet to use any of the modifiers on our mattock so far, and I'm also super surprised that nobody has had a go at me in the comment section yet for still using a flint mattock when we are 32 episodes into the series, but that's fine. It has been working just fine up until now. We should probably look at getting some better tools fairly soon. We're also using like an iron pickaxe. Yeah, an iron pickaxe, which we could do a lot better at this stage in the game. So now we got that, we could pick up any kind of stuff we want. If we were to come over here and pick up some grass, it would actually pick up as grass instead of as dirt. Pretty cool stuff. And so now all we really need to do is wait for midnight to roll around. Midnight is when the moon is directly above us. We can look straight up in the air and the moon will be dead center in our crosshairs. But before we do that, we also have to prepare a sacrifice, because when you activate the ritual, it tells us to perform a sacrifice. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly make a non-reusable safari net. So one of these guys over here, which is just some leather, some string, and then a slime ball. Gonna make one of those. We are missing string of all things. I'm going to grab one of my cows and we're going to use that as the sacrifice. Okay, so for whatever reason, the recipe for the normal safari net just did not want to craft for me there. I can't actually pull it out of the crafting terminal, but it allowed me to make a safari net with the ender pearls and the ghast tears, so I made another one of those. We missed the night because the night is skipping because of what the Shaggy Rabbit is doing on the server, but I've asked him to stop and he is now getting it to nighttime for us, so let me quickly grab one of these real quick, and then let's throw it down. Look at this, it is almost midnight. So now if we shift right click on this, I think it's a bit too early. Yeah, okay, so all we have to do now is wait for this to come directly above us. Once it does, our Division Sigil here will start to glow, indicating to us that it is the right time. So I'm just going to wait here real quick until the moon actually gets directly above us. There we go, the sigil is glowing, the time is now. Perform the sacrifice. So we'll drop our cow on here, we'll activate this, we'll kill it. All the stuff becomes cursed earth. I'm just going to try and kill most of these guys to try and get any of the weak blood shards. We might get some here. We did, we got one, we got a few actually. So I will kill as many of these as I can. And then we need to start actually picking up this cursed earth so we can use it. I did put cobblestone beneath us so we could... Ooh, no. It might be worthwhile, actually, me eating, one of my golden apples so that I don't die whilst we're out here. Ooh. Okay, we are getting a good amount of blood shards, though, here. I like it. But we should... Okay, you know what? I'm gonna eat one of these golden apples real quick. Oh, no, my jetpack. Okay. And then we should probably sleep. But as soon as daytime rolls around, all this stuff will disappear, which makes it significantly harder to actually work with. Also, I should mention, all the mobs that are spawned from the Cursed Earth are significantly harder than normal vanilla mobs. So they are a little harder to kill, they hit a little harder, and therefore we should take great care when trying to get all this stuff. I would like to get as much Cursed Earth as is possible before we have to leave. It's okay, we can deal with this spider. And there we go, not so long later, we now have a stack and 44 of Cursed Earth. We should probably turn this off so it stops hurting us. And we also have 8 of these weak blood shards, which we can use to get more weak blood shards. I think in the alchemical catalyst, is it? Let's have a look here. Recipe. Yeah, in the alchemical chemistry set, we can use that with some of the imbued slates, which are just slates made in a tier 3 altar. And so, what I'm going to do now, guys, I'm going to quickly go up here, and I think I'm going to have to replace the floor, because I think this is only too high. So yeah, what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to go away. I'm going to have to replace all of the cobblestone that is here with Cursed Earth. In order to prevent mobs spawning whilst I do that, what you can do is you can put torches down. If there are torches around the Cursed Earth, then the mobs won't spawn. However, if it does see daylight, then the Cursed Earth will start to burn and will turn back into normal dirt. So I'm going to go away. I'm going to replace all this cobblestone, and I'll be back in a second. And there we go. A little while later, all of the cobblestone, or most of the cobblestone, has now been replaced with Cursed Earth. We didn't quite have enough Cursed Earth to replace all of it, but as you can see over here, the Cursed Earth is spreading outwards, and as it gets darker, it will spread more quickly to all of the normal dirt that's around it, much like grass normally would when it's just near some normal dirt. So let's go ahead and get rid of all these torches. It is going to get pretty scary in here. Yeah, creepers are already spawning, but they should just kind of waddle towards the middle and then fall down into the... don't kill me. I'm so glad we have mob griefing off. We'll get rid of all that stuff, and then we will just fall down with the rest of them. And we'll get out of here as soon as we can, because otherwise we're going to die. Okay. Cool stuff. So, our mob spawner should now be working again as intended. We can put all of this excess stuff back into the AE system once we can see again. And now the final thing that we need to do is actually set up a tier 4 blood altar. So, between episodes, I did go ahead and grind out the 56 blank slates that we need in order to make the 28 blood runes that we need in order to upgrade the altar. So, we'll go ahead and start with those. I think we're probably missing a few things. We're probably going to need a bunch more air shards, and we're also definitely going to need a bunch more of those waste stones. Thankfully, the waste stones should be fairly easy to get. I have been throwing coal occasionally onto all of these ender flames over here, and so getting a bunch of these should be real easy to do. Like that. We made more than we needed there, but we're going to need a lot more for all of the extra runes that we're going to have to make to get to tier 5, and probably eventually to tier 6 as well. And I'm also going to have to go ahead and quickly grind out a bunch more of those air shards. And now that I've got a stack of 26 more of those, we can throw those into the system as well, and we should be able to craft all of those up into enough blood runes. And it turns out we're missing some stone. Nice. Okay, so now that we've got some actual stone, we can try that again, and we get ourselves the 28 blood runes that we need, and now we essentially do the same thing that we did when we were going from tier 2 to tier 3, and that is we go out by 1 and down 1 with the blood runes. I should really move all of the stuff up 1, but I really don't want to have to get rid of all this and rebuild it again, so instead what I've done is I just dug out some holes in the floor here. This will work exactly the same, and it will work just fine. It doesn't matter that there's cobblestone in the middle here, and so if we just fill in all of these sides with blood runes, all we have to do then is set up the pillars on the outside like we did before. And so for that, I'm going to grab a little bit more glass. Again, you don't have to use glass. You can use any kind of block you want. I kind of like to use glass just because it looks kind of nice. And so, all we need to do now is put this again on the outside corner. I think it has to be one above the glowstone. So the glass needs to go up to where the glowstone is, and then the bloodstone bricks are going to go 1 block above the glowstone. And to make those bloodstone bricks, we are going to need, if we look back here in NEI, bloodstone bricks, we need to craft together 4 ritual stones and 1 weak blood shard. That's going to get us 8, which is more than enough to craft the altar, but it does mean that I'm going to have to go away and grind out 4 more of these ritual stones, which means I'm going to have to get 4 more of these reinforced slates, which means more blank slates, which means more arcane stone blocks. And so, what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to go away, I'm going to finish putting these pillars up, I'm going to go and get 4 more ritual stones, and I'll be back in a second. And again, not so long later, we now have 4 reinforced slates, and so if we come back over to our ME crafting terminal, we can craft those up with some obsidian to get ourselves the ritual stones like so, and then we can put 4 of those into the alchemical chemistry set with 1 of our weak blood shards like that. We should have, I think, more than the 1,500 life points already in the system for this to work. We are not even close. We got 39, we need 1,500. So instead, let me quickly grab that blood orb, stick it back into the altar, and then use 1 more of these golden apples here real quick, just to fill this up with as much blood as we can. And now that we've got a few thousand in there, we can try this once again. We'll throw this back into the alchemy catalyst, and it shouldn't take too long for it to craft up. But it will, because we have to use the magician's blood orb, not the apprentice blood orb, so I'll put that in there. I completely forgot that we made that last episode, but now this should work just fine. And there we go, we get ourselves 4 of these large bloodstone bricks, which we can now place atop of these glass pillars over here, like so. We can put one right about there. I should probably turn hover mode on just to make this a little bit easier. We'll stick one there, we'll put one there, and we'll put one down. Is that the right place? No, that's not the right place. We'll put one down there, and now we should have a tier 4 altar. Nice. Altar's current tier is 4, and now we can craft up all of the items that we need, at least from the blood magic side of things, for the angel ring. And with that, guys, I'm going to end this episode of Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Skyblock there. Next episode, we'll come back. We'll probably start looking at some auto crafting with applied energistics, because, again, if we look at the recipe for the angel ring here, although it's not particularly hard to get, and it's all stuff that we've done before, I don't want to have to craft all this stuff down here by hand, and so I'll try and set up some automated stuff with our AE2 system. We'll probably get an actual ME controller, start working with channels, and start setting up some molecular assemblers and stuff like that, so that our AE system can auto-craft all the stuff that we need. But, like I said, with that, guys, thanks for watching. If you did enjoy the video, be sure to like. It really does help out a lot. Leave a comment down below, and I will see you guys next time.